What's going on, everyone? So obviously that was a very upsetting, very disappointing loss. And a lot of talks about like what lost the game, what was this play, or this turnover, or that shot, or this, that, and the other, right? But in all honesty, one of the biggest kind of swing factors of that game is probably the final sequence, right? So to bring those up to speed that don't know about that, or just to refresh people's memories, right? Lakers called a timeout because they believed it was their ball, and to advance the ball to get a good set ran play in order to get a look to win the game, right? And instead what happens is Minnesota challenges it. They win the challenge. Anthony Edwards ends up getting 2 free throws, which makes it a 3-point game, which now the Lakers have no choice but to shoot a 3 to send the game in overtime, rather than maybe we get something where LeBron just gets the ball, puts his head down and gets to the basket, or Luka tries to create some dribble penetration, and then we win the game. But so the Lakers got punished twice because why? Right? Like, why didn't the Lakers get their timeout back? Minnesota wanted to challenge the call, wanted to challenge the play, right? Well, don't you usually use your timeouts to challenge the play? So Lakers call a timeout, and then Minnesota challenges the play. Lakers wouldn't have called a timeout if he's shooting free throws. Why would JJ Redick call timeout to not advance the ball and not set up a shot, knowing Anthony Edwards would shoot free throws? Now, LeBron, had talked about how, he disagrees with the call. That hand is part of the ball, right? That the refs ended up calling a foul. That's a huge swing, right? But, okay, let's say it was a foul, right? There's a big difference between you having to go the full length of the court, they're pressing you, you're doing a scramble play where Austin Reeves gets great look, which he should have hit, but, he has not been great this series, but completely botches the shot. But very big difference between a scramble play than a design setup play that maybe gets Luka a clean shot, or LeBron a clean shot, or maybe you're throwing in a connect, or whomever, right? Rui, who hit a big shot. There's a lot of differences to that. And that's the one thing that no one's really talking about, or at least I haven't really seen anyone talk about it yet. Maybe it is out there. Maybe others have talked about it. Maybe it is a point that gets brought up as we continue, right? Before the next game. But that to me was the biggest deciding factor of this game that went against the Lakers. Because again, Lakers, if Anthony Edwards is going to take free throws and you're going to allow Minnesota to challenge the call, then give back the Lakers timeout. So that way the Lakers can, actually advance the ball and run a play. But not only did the Lakers get punished on the challenge, okay, fine, right? Let's say, hit some of the wrist, okay, fine, right? It's a foul. I will give you that. But there's a big difference between now you have to, inbound the ball through pressure, get up the court through all of the defensive pressure, and then now you're doing, again, a scramble play trying to get something rather than a set action, right? Rather than actually a set ran design play. Because that's why JJ Redick called the timeout. We called the timeout because we thought we were going to have a chance to win the game. We thought we had a chance to go in and beat Minnesota on a game-winning shot, but instead, the best we could have done is tie the game. So even if whether you're somebody, either way, whatever side of the fence you are, where that was clean, that shouldn't have been a foul, or it wasn't clean, good call, good overturn. Fine. Either way, okay, right? But the fact that the Lakers lost their timeout for a Minnesota challenge is crazy. The fact that they lost their timeout over Minnesota's ability to challenge, and then the Lakers losing their ability to advance the ball and actually run a set, that to me is the most craziest part of this. That to me is the thing that I think hurt the Lakers the most. Because again, there's a big difference between when you're running a design play in action where guys can get set, you can run the screens, you can, line guys up where you need to line them up and generate a quality look. Now I get Lakers still generated a very quality look and Austin Reeves just missed it. Right? But that entire sequence was terrible. That entire sequence should not have happened. Right? If you're going to overturn the call and you're going to say that it was indeed a foul and that Anthony Edwards should be getting free throws, then fine, give the Lakers their timeout back. Anthony Edwards makes his free throws, you call a timeout, right? Because again, Austin Reeves, yes, got a good look. A very good look. I mean, he was wide open and just missed it. Right? So that was upsetting. That was frustrating. That was incredibly disappointing. But even then, there is a big difference between, again, a scramble, oh, I got it and I got to shoot it quick, than a design set play where maybe LeBron gets a good look or Luka gets a good look or, whatever. Or Austin Reeves knows the ball's coming to him and knows the design play. And so he's ready to, rather than, again, you're in this like haste, you're in this like commotion and chaos, bodies are flying and moving and all this noise, and then all of a sudden you end up with the ball in your hands and you're like, oh, I need to shoot it because the clock's about to expire. That's not the same thing as a play design, as a set call, set action where, hey, we're gonna have whatever, Reeves come off of a pin down and get an open look and take the shot, or LeBron or Luka or whatever, right? Also, their defense is going to be different because they know time's running out. They got to run the length of the court. By the time the Lakers get to half court, shot clock is already almost done. You got like 3 seconds to get a shot up rather than you have 9 seconds to inbound the basketball from the half court and run a design set, right? So now if they trap or whatever, you have time to get an extra swing or two. You have the time to maybe, get a quick play or whatever to get a quick bucket, right? Because they're so worried about the three, they just advance, boom, get an easy bucket, and then quick foul, and then whatever, right? Like, point is that there are a million billion possible combinations that could have happened had the Lakers not lost their timeout because Minnesota got to challenge it, right? Fine, Minnesota gets to challenge it. That's within the right. My issue isn't Minnesota challenging it. The problem that I have isn't Minnesota challenging it. My problem isn't even necessarily that Anthony Edwards got called for a foul, right? Either side, again, however you want to debate that, however you want to call that, whether you think that was a clean foul or a clean block or a foul, doesn't matter. None of that is my issue. None of that is my gripe. What my gripe is that we got screwed, right? Like you ended up losing a timeout and losing the ability to advance the basketball. That's huge. Huge in a game like this. Whether it's a design three or a chance to go win it. Again, JJ does not call timeout if he knows that he's not going to get to advance the ball and actually run a play. Why would you? Right? JJ called timeout because he believed, as did everyone else, that they had the ball with the chance to go win it. So they wanted to get a play design, to get a good look, maybe get LeBron ahead of steam going downhill, right? Or Luka, with a head of steam to try to get him into the teeth of the defense and try to elevate and knock down a shot or something. That's why you call timeout. But instead, you take away that timeout and his ability to advance the basketball, and so now there's a scramble. If you would have just been like, hey, he made he's getting 2 free throws, and then you still get to advance the ball, then fine, right? Because they already have the play design. They already called the timeout, drew up the play, did everything, right? So really, it's not even that the Lakers lost their timeout. It's that they weren't able to properly run their play. They weren't able to properly run their action. Now, look, could you nitpick and go through? Sure. At the end of the day, the Lakers should have won this game. They should have won the last game. They should be up in this series 3-1. The Lakers just have done everything in their power to beat themselves. And look, people I see, oh, the refs were terrible, this, that, and the other. That's always a conversation. That's always something, right? That's fine. There's always going to be, Minnesota loses, all refs are terrible. Laker fans, okay, sure. Fine. Remove all the noise. Remove all the fluff. Remove all the everything. Remove all of it. Just that sequence alone, screwed the Lakers. Again, now, it's very possible Lakers still missed the shot. Or let's say the Lakers hit the shot, they go into overtime and they lose. Yeah, sure, all of those things are a possibility. But the Lakers were stripped from their opportunity to at least get that chance. And again, Austin Reeves had a wide open look, all of that. I get all that. All of that, fine. I understand. But at the end of the day, the Lakers called a timeout believing that they were going to get to advance the ball and have an opportunity to win. Right? Maybe the Lakers would have, maybe Lakers used the timeout to try to, freeze Anthony Edwards after the first make. Right? There's a million possibilities on how they could have used that free throw if they would have gotten that, or timeout if they would have gotten that timeout. I think that hurts. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. Either way, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.